Simon Ekpa is in the prison right now as we speak, as many of you know. In fact, today is his first official day in prison in Finland, serving a 6-year jail term. But there are many people on social media who are spreading a propaganda as we speak, saying that after Simon Ekpa finished spending his prison time in Finland, that he is going to be deported, he is going to be extradited, he is going to be sent back to Nigeria by the Finnish authority to start off a fresh trial in Nigeria, bordering terrorism and other activities that he is being accused of back in Nigeria also. In fact, they say that this Finland, judgment is just the beginning of his travels. That after that, they will send him back to Nigeria to start afresh, going to court from where he stopped. And I promised you yesterday that I was going to talk about that on the possibilities of Simon Ekpa being sent back to Nigeria, or not, and how possible it is, and for you to understand what is at stake bordering the politics and the dynamics involved in what is going on around him right now. This is for the sake of people who are scared. Many people have come to my DM and scared, saying that is it true? That could it be true that after he finished serving at Finland, he's going to go back, to Nigeria to face trials also? They will send him to Nigeria. Many people are in tears. Many are in pains. Many want to know. And I said, okay, I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do my background checkings, and I'm going to come here and give you the raw facts, debunking or approving that news, that rumor that says that he will go back to face trial also in Nigeria. So for this video, we are going to be doing justice to that. Will Simon Ekpa be sent back to Nigeria to start a fresh trial after he has finished serving prison in Finland? Will Finland send him back to Nigeria? Whatever you're doing, I advise you to stop it and focus on this video, or go and finish it up and come back and watch this video, because you don't want to skip a bit. Take a second to like, share this video, and if you're first time, please subscribe to my channel and click on that bell. Then you select all notifications to get notified whenever we release a video. Shall we begin? Firstly, Nigeria is a sovereign state in the United Nations. Finland also is a sovereign state in the United Nations. These two countries are independent, totally independent communities of each other, and do not depend on each other for anything, not talk of arbitration of justice. Whatever happens in Finland happens in Finland. Whatever happens in Nigeria happens in Nigeria. That's one point to note. Also, for there to be any relationship between the two countries, it has to be ratified by policies, by agreements, by treaties. Countries go into treaties for different things, for different purposes, to smooth and to make relationships in those particular things very easy, and does not need any other internal legal mechanisms. As it stands today, there is no legal, there is no extradition, and there is no deportation treaty between Nigeria and Finland as it stands today. That means making it 100% impossible for a prisoner in Finland to be transferred back to Nigeria, because there is no treaty involved between these two countries. That is just the beginning. I'm still going far. I'm still going further to explain better for you. So just hold on. We're just getting started. Listen to this. Finland places strong emphasis on protection of its citizens, and also human rights standards and fair trial concerns. That is to tell you that yes, there is no extradition policy between the two countries, not to talk of its own citizens now. In fact, when it comes to Finland citizens, it is impossible for them to give up their own citizen to another country, even if the crime the person committed was extraterrestrial, which means in another country. I'm coming forward to explain to you, because some of you now will be saying, but he committed the crime in Nigeria. But it's not Finland committed the crime. Wait, I will explain to you better so that you understand. That's why I say, calm down and follow me. Let's go on. Let's go on. Now, listen very carefully. This is about possible extradition of Finland citizen. Let's see whether it is possible. Under Finnish law, under Finland laws, extraditing a citizen is restricted. By default, Finland does not extradite its citizens to any country, even Nigeria. Instead, Finland will prosecute the citizen in Finland for crimes committed abroad. Do you understand? So you see, Simon Ekpa happens to be a Finland citizen. Yes, and he is protected by Finland law. Not to tell you that he's also a person of interest in Finland. He's a politician. He is somebody who is privy to lots of secret government information of Finland. And you think that Finland will allow their own politicians, security operatives, people who know the workings in the secrets of Finland here and there, who also have a passport of their country, to be in prison in another country? You don't know what you're talking about. Let's go on. When a Finnish citizen is convicted and serves time in Finland, they are released in Finland, not deported. They are not deported. So we say, we are not saying about extradition. We are talking about deportation. Let me tell you, I understand what you mean when you say it's not extradition, it is deportation. Let me tell you, yes, some countries, most importantly, this thing I'm reading for you now, it's about Finland laws bordering on their citizens. Yes, Simon Ekpa is a citizen of Finland. If you are not a citizen of Finland, you are not from Finland now. You are not from Finland. So their law does not, their laws, they will try you according to their laws. But automatically, because you have committed a crime in their country and you are not the citizen, it's possible that they can send you back to where you came from, carry your wahala and go. We don't know you. But Simon Ekpa is not a visitor to Finland. He is a citizen, a politician in the country. He has paid his dues there. So the laws I'm reading out for you cover him extensively. Let's go on. Now, political factor. Being a politician in Finland adds another layer to this whole twist. Finland authorities are extremely cautious about political persecution risks. Now, let's talk about Finland's legal basis of extradition and citizens' protection. Now, I'm going to be quoting you the law that supports what we are saying today. The law that supports, this argument we are making today. Now, there is an Extradition Act in Finland. It's called Laki Luovutussexa, Act 456 of the 1970 Act of Finland. Do you get me? Now, Section 2 of the Finnish Extradition Act explicitly states that a Finland citizen cannot be extradited to another country. Simple. The Supreme Court has affirmed and reaffirmed that this prohibition applies even when the person is an EU citizen facing extradition to a non-EU country. So you see that the law even protects not only Finland citizens, but it protects even European citizens who find their way in Finland and another country outside EU even wants them. Finland will not send because EU also is protected by the member countries. If you are a Finland citizen, it's even ×2 protection you have. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, Finland applies a discretionary system. Extradition is only considered where there is an international agreement, like an international treaty, between the two countries. Just like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, that there is no existing treaty, no existing, agreement between legal agreements, judicial agreements, between Nigeria and Finland that will say, okay, fine, no problem. If our citizen does something in your country, because we have an agreement, I can send the person to your country. Likewise, you send to mine. But it will only work, like I said here, Finland will only accept if there is an agreement. Then, no problem. But there is no agreement as we speak. You understand? So without a treaty, it is highly impossible. Now, Finland Criminal Code on extraterrestrial jurisdiction, which is a crime committed outside, Finland. The Finland Criminal Code extends Finland's jurisdiction to offenses committed abroad by Finnish citizens. This is exactly Simon Ekpa's own case. A crime committed abroad. So Finland, Simon Ekpa committing a crime in Nigeria is a crime committed abroad. So this is about Simon Ekpa now. Section 6, subsection 1 of Finnish law applies to offenses committed abroad by Finland citizens. Citizenship is assessed at the time of offense or trial starts. This means, listen, Finland can prosecute its citizens domestically for crimes they committed abroad. That means Finland can prosecute Simon Ekpa for a crime he committed in Nigeria, which is exactly what they did, which will eliminating the need for extradition in many cases. That is telling you, if our citizen does something in your country, we have a law that says that not because he didn't do it in our country now we'll allow him to go free, because some countries are like that. He didn't commit it in our country, we don't care. Sometimes Americans, they even do that rubbish. Or Europeans, some do it. They come to Africa, they steal, they do how they like, and they go and hide in their own country. But Finland is saying that if our citizen does something in your country, we have a place in our law that we can try that person for you on your behalf. We will try the person for you and sentence the person for you. That is what Finland is saying. Another one is this: Finland citizens versus non-citizen approach is not the same. So listen, Finland does not deport its own citizens at all. Deportation is an administrative measure reserved for non-citizens and cannot be used as a substitute for extradition. I have just said it to you a few seconds ago. And some of you will now argue. You say it's not extradition we're talking about here. We're talking about deporting him because he's a criminal, because he committed a crime, and Finland can deport criminals even if it is not for citizens. So their own criminals are their own criminals. When they go to prison, they will come back to their society because Ekpa is part of Finland society. So for non-citizens, it's a different ball game. You came to our country and committed a crime, both home and abroad. So you are not covered by their law now. And we're not talking about that. We're talking about somebody who is covered by the law of Finland now. We all know. Let us not drag it. Either you like Ekpa or not, you cannot drag the fact that this man is a Finland citizen. He speaks their language very perfectly and is also a member of their political class, no matter the level. This man is a Finland man, and they have accepted him into society now. So don't work yourself up. No, there's no loophole. This propaganda, obviously it looks like propaganda that is spreading. Cannot stand now. Let's go on. So Finland does not deport its own citizens. Deportation is an administrative measure reserved for non-citizens and cannot be used as a substitute for extradition. You understand? Instead, Finland authorities typically prosecute the individual in Finland. If the crime is covered under Finland laws, they will prosecute the person. And of course, that terrorism, another act, is a crime. Money laundering is a crime under Finland laws, and they're doing their job. So they also reject extradition, especially to non-EU states, unless an international obligation exists and human rights are safeguarded. And let me tell you, just like they said here, there has to be an agreement between the two countries, and you also have to meet human rights standards before they can even do it, even if there's a treaty. So even if Nigeria and Finland have a treaty now, Finland can still decide not to send Ekpa to Nigeria because of human rights, violations that exist in Nigeria. They will not even still send him to Nigeria. There are a lot of cases now. Nigeria is in the eye of the world in human rights violations, of course. Look at Nnamdi Kanu's terrorism case. You can see clearly that it's a human rights violation. You expect them to now carry Ekpa, even if he is not a citizen of their country, to dash Nigeria so they can lock him up perpetually. They won't even do that. They will not even do that. Do you understand? Let's go on. Simon Ekpa's case vividly illustrates these principles. Simon Ekpa is a Finland citizen and politician. He was arrested in Finland in 2024 on terrorism-related charges, tax evasion, and another charge. Specifically, for public incitement to commit a crime with terrorist intent. Despite Nigeria's formal extradition request, Finland has the legal authority and constitutional obligation to prioritize their own prosecution under Finland laws. Do you understand? Since he is a Finland citizen, Finland cannot deport or extradite him. His sentence is being fully served in Finland, and no transfer to Nigeria for trial or further sentencing is permitted under Finland laws. So in conclusion, Finland cannot deport or extradite its own citizens, which includes Simon Ekpa. Instead, Finland will prosecute the person domestically for applicable offenses under extraterritorial jurisdiction. I hope this has served justice for you to know that all those rumors spreading around is just a witch hunt trying to find or to pain the emotions of people who maybe support the man himself, trying to boast or brag, because they failed. Of course, they failed to extradite him to Nigeria. They tried. They used anything possible, to see if they can get Ekpa down to Nigeria. And they failed woefully because this particular, sentencing in Finland is not what the Nigerian government actually wanted. So they are going around social media, spreading propaganda, beating their chest that after he finished serving trial here, he will still come to Nigeria. They are still going to deport him. Why didn't they send him to Nigeria in the first place? Since Nigeria had jurisdiction of the whole trial, of the whole case itself. Why? It's because Finland told Nigeria directly that is impossible. The best they can do for them is to try him in their laws. They can't deport this man. And that is it. So now they have tried him, they've sentenced him. So Nigeria might feel a little bit ashamed that, maybe this guy has finally gotten what he wants. Maybe a kind of a more lenient penalty than what they actually wanted in Nigeria. Because the way it seems, they are not satisfied. Though they came out to praise the Finland government, on this, but they are not satisfied. They want this man to rot in jail for life imprisonment. That is what they want. The possibility of Ekpa coming out of prison pains them, hurts them so much, and they have to spread propaganda talking about, when he comes out of prison, they will still deport him tonight. Are you the one that tells Finland what to do? Do you think Finland is Nigerian courts? Do you think Finland is Nigerian justice system? That you can in social media be telling a judge what to do. When a judge wants to give judgment, he will come and read social media to see what Hausa are saying, what Yoruba are saying. Then he will now give judgment in his court. You think your Finland is like that? They don't even see that thing you are typing in your social media. So don't bother yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this package, today. And I'm sure that by now you would have, calmed yourself down, and you would have understood that Simon Ekpa can never be sent back to Nigeria after spending 2 to 3 years in Finland prison. he will be released to society, back to society, just like every other Finland citizen who has committed one crime or the other. He is not going back to any Nigeria. He has served his offense, and Finland know that sending him back to Nigeria is going to make him to serve punishment for an offense he has already served in their country. They will never do that. 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 So that is case closed, and that matter has been put to rest. So if you see it on social media, just ignore it. And those people don't know what I'm talking about. They are mostly people who are not well informed on how international law and Finland law works. Everything we've talked about here is based on Finland laws, as you have seen so far. We have not quoted anything outside the laws. We have done our fact checking, and we have done our digging, and we have come out to tell you that Ekpa will walk free after his imprisonment, and he will still remain in Finland. He will not be deported, and he will not be stripped of his citizenship. No. So let's see you next video. Peace.